The trial of a local and once powerful politician moves into its second day with expert testimony at the Hamilton County Courthouse. Peter Beck is in the fight of his life to try to stay out of prison after a massive indictment for securities fraud. The charges follow a Local 12 investigation in 2012. Rich Jaffe broke that story and joins us now from the newsroom with the latest on today. Rich?
Rob, white-collar cases like this are always slow and cumbersome. Today was simply a matter of the Attorney General's office laying out the very preliminary foundation of this case. But even now, you can see the basis of the net they say snared a big fish, Pete Beck. The case against Peter Beck is being built box by box. 2 tables full of them, as a matter of fact. Each table filled with thousands of pages of documents, and prosecutors say they all point to the same thing.
The significance is that the defendant appears to be selling securities.
And that's something Pete Beck's not licensed to do. According to the Attorney General, he did a lot of things he shouldn't do. In our exclusive interview in 2012, Beck claimed he was just an accountant for 2 companies involved in the multi-million-dollar scam, when in reality he was their chief financial officer. According to the Attorney General, he used his power and position as a state representative, the head of the Ways and Means Committee, and a CPA to lure investors into dumping money into insolvent companies. So he and his business partners made money while the investors lost. When I sat down with him in 2012, Beck claimed he wasn't one of the bad guys, but a victim. With dozens of witnesses prepared to testify against him, including the investors and virtually all of Beck's ex-business partners, the case began today with the lead investigator from the State Department of Securities laying out the significance of the documents. Like an email from one bogus business owner to the other partners in which he said,
He had a call from Pete this morning that he would like to bring a potential investor by for a demonstration today at 3:30 p.m. It creates an issue because based on the appearance of the email, it appears that the defendant is, at a minimum, making an introduction of an investor to invest in the company, which could be construed as a sale.
Then there's this one from Beck to another partner.
It's addressed to Tom. I have another meeting with a possible investor today. The 2 that I was working on have decided to hold off for now. We really need to get an investor because we're out of cash.
Tomorrow, a guy named Chip DeMoy will be in court. He's the last of Beck's unindicted co-conspirators to take a deal in exchange for testifying against him. According to the Attorney General, DeMoy was a corporate fixer who was hired to turn these insolvent companies around and bring in investors. That never worked, and he's pleading to selling securities without a license, like all the others. DeMoy's sentencing will wait until after he testifies against Peter Beck. In the newsroom, Rich Jaffe, Local 12 News. Rob?
Rich, was there ever any real business going on in these companies, or were they just taking money from investors? Do you know?
In a couple of the companies, they indeed had some minimal product, but it never really got off the ground. That's why they were looking for funding to try and pump these companies up. That was the hook to bring some of the investors in, at least. In other cases, the companies really never existed at all. But in at least a couple of them, one in Tennessee and also one that was located here, there was some tangible reality to the company itself. It's just that the rest of it all fell to nothing, and the investors pumped money and got nothing for it.
Yeah, we'll look forward to tomorrow. Rich, thanks very much. Peter Beck has pleaded not guilty to all of these charges. His lead attorney says he's the only one of the indicted conspirators with the courage to fight the allegations. The others took plea deals, as you heard Rich talk about. They will testify against Beck.